Hey everybody, and welcome to our first video for Cruise Journey. Today we're going to take a tour of our ship that we sailed on a couple weeks ago, the Carnival Splendor. So we figured we'd start with a ride up the glass elevator all the way to the top of the ship. Up to the sky deck. So it's quite windy up here the day that we took our tour. I think this was our second to last day, the sea day. Later on in the video you'll see that I actually came up and did this walk the last day when there was not really that many people out. So, but here you can see the water slide, which I actually did not do. I don't know why, I never got around to it. I also did want to mention that if you're looking for a more comprehensive tour of this ship in particular, the one that we looked at before our cruise was Viking Explorer. I'll link to it here down below. They did a really great full overview of the ship, so this isn't going to be as comprehensive as that, but I kind of wanted to show what we enjoyed and what we found on the ship. So here we see the retractable roof, and as you can see, as we were heading back from Puerto Vallarta to Long Beach, we were pretty close to the shore for a lot of it. I think at this point we were kind of crossing near Cabo, where was our first shore day. So we're going to go up to the very top deck, and this is where they have the jogging track and basketball court. Funny story about the jogging track, I had actually taken my running shoes with me, but as my running friends will attest to, when you find a good pair of running shoes, you kind of stick with that shoe. And the two pairs of running shoes that I have at home right now are the same color and the same style, and I packed two shoes, and when I got onto the ship I realized I packed two left feet, so I did not get to use the jogging track. Here you can see they have a little water play area for the kids. I didn't, each time we went up here I didn't really see anybody up there, but I'm sure it gets used. So here we're taking a walk along the walking and jogging track and the tail of the ship. As you can see, it was a really beautiful day. Again, this was the Thursday, the second to last day of full day of the ship, of the cruise. The last day, actually, it was very overcast, but in the morning I got some sunrise pics. So over to the left, that was the basketball court. As you can see, it's totally roped in for a good reason, I'm sure. I did notice they had a couple of little showers up here. I guess that's for people who finished exercising. Maybe they wanted to freshen up before walking back to their room. Didn't see anybody using them. And then here is the back of the ship where they have the adults only area. That's the adult pool and two spas. We spent quite a lot of time here just hanging out, reading, getting some sun. The first 2 days of the cruise, on Sunday and Monday, the water was actually pretty freezing. And the last day on Friday it was pretty cold as well, but in between it was actually nice and warm. So on this day you'll see there's quite a lot of people in the pool, but on Friday I think I was the only one in the pool that I saw all day. Here they also have the Tandoor, which is the Indian restaurant, and the Ideli. And we tried both, and both were very good. But it was nice that you didn't really have to walk far from the adult area to get some food. So here we are walking on the other side of the ship. Right above our head here, that's where the jogging track was that we just went by. They also had some really cool artwork. As you can see here, some Halloween artwork here and some wine artwork that you could actually purchase. So this is a look down the entire atrium from the, I believe, the 10th floor all the way down to the 3rd floor. So this is the next morning. I figured I'd get up early and take a walk when it wasn't so busy. So as you can see, it's quite a bit of difference here from, you know, I think the other one was around 11 or 12 in the afternoon. And this was, you know, 7 o'clock in the morning. So everyone's still in bed and relaxing. So I figured I'd do another quick tour. We do have a separate time-lapse of the sunrise from this morning, and we'll go ahead and post that as well once we get this video up on YouTube, and we'll link it here. I had actually tried to do a couple sunset videos and sunrise videos on the GoPro, and I kept messing up or not having enough time. And then of course the last day I didn't charge the battery enough, so I didn't get the full one. So the time-lapse video that you'll see that we'll post has some from the GoPro and then some from our phones. But as this was our first cruise, you know, we're still kind of learning what to use and what not to use and what's the best way to do things. So this is the Serenity area. It's actually attached to the spa, but you don't have to be in the spa or a spa room to use this area. This is adults only, which is kind of nice. So some really comfy couches. There's a bar over here to the right that it's obviously adults only. And they have these cool little half dome things as well that you can just, you know, we saw a lot of people sitting back and relaxing and reading, and we did that as well a couple days. It was really nice. And through the glass there, that's part of the spa, and the fitness center is over there as well, which again we didn't use because I didn't have the right shoes. Here we are at the forward of the ship. Still learning all of my nautical terms. As you can see, it was quite windy, a couple pillows on the ground. We actually sat up here the first, when we were disembarking from Long Beach, and it was very warm. There wasn't a whole lot of wind and stuff, but this morning it was very nice and calm and relaxing. So as you can see, the Serenity has 2 parts, and even at 7 o'clock in the morning, people were already kind of staking out their spots for the day to just sit back and relax. As you can see in the little couch area, we saw people out here playing games and a bar. And this is actually one of the older ships in the fleet, but the crew actually does a really good job of keeping it clean and shiny. As you can see in the morning, the roof is closed for the pool for the day, and I don't know if it ever opened this day. As I said, it was pretty overcast most of the day. But this ship is actually being relocated to Australia in about a month or so. There's actually a trans-Pacific cruise coming up. It's going to go from Long Beach to Singapore, and then it's going to be in dry dock for a month as they do some upgrades, and then it will be in Australia. And then a new ship is actually coming to do the Mexican Riviera cruise that we did. And as you can see, the jogging track is right up there, so a lot of people walking around in the morning, getting their steps in. A little closer look of the water area. No water on this early in the morning. I don't think anybody would have been in there anyway. So we're on the spa deck here, 11. To the right here, this is actually the steakhouse, where we ate our first night of the cruise, and it was absolutely spectacular, and I would definitely recommend it. If you do book the steakhouse on any of the Carnival cruises, the first night they give you a free bottle of wine, or if you don't want any of the wines that they're offering, they give you 50% off, which is nice. So this is deck 10. This is actually the smoking area. It's funny when you go to places like Vegas or on a cruise, or as we noticed for the first time on the cruise, is how many people still smoke. There is a casino on the cruise, and it was very smoky at most of the times, but even up here, it just amazes me, to be honest, how many people still smoke, and how many young people still smoke. So here's the adult pool. As you can see, it's pretty covered up in the morning. They put some nets over everything just because there's no pool hours. And then this is right on the aft of the ship. Steaming full steam to Long Beach from Puerto Vallarta. So here is the 5th floor. So this is where El Morocco's, where they have the comedians every night. We saw a couple of shows. They were pretty good. To the right over here is the piano bar. So we stopped in and did some sing-alongs a couple times, which was really fun. But a lot of the activities were actually on the 5th floor. And you know, got a bar here. There's a coffee bar. Nice views of the ocean, obviously. Some nice seating areas here. And there's a smoking section up ahead, but not in this area. So we saw, again, a lot of people out here playing, you know, Uno or cards and just relaxing and enjoying. The kids clubs are also on this level. Obviously, we didn't use the kids clubs at all. They have a pretty good sized arcade too, so lots of you know, get to win prizes games, and then a good collection of video games as well. And again, the kids clubs and the teen clubs are actually attached to this area as well. So to the left there was it's a sushi bar. And then also up here on the left, they have a map showing where you are, and there's actually a map channel in your room as well, which we kind of always like to check to see where we were. So as you can see, we're heading up Baja. Again, not very far from the coast on the way back. Over to the left is the coffee bar. And then the other spot over there to the left is where you're going to get your bingo cards for all of your bingo, which we played actually a lot of bingo. A little internet cafe. I think you can print out your plane tickets and things like that as well. We didn't do the internet at all while we were on shore on the ship. We actually were just really looking forward to just disconnecting, and we loved it. Here is the casino bar. Smoking is allowed in this area, and as you can see, the casino here, lots of slot machines, some probably about 8 or 10 blackjack machines. Let it ride. They only had one craps table, which I thought was kind of odd, because when it was open, it was constantly packed. It wasn't open, you know, all that much, to be honest with you. I was actually kind of surprised, but when it was, like I said, it was pretty busy. Here we're gonna head into the fun shop. So this is where you can get your jewelry and your perfume, some candy to the left there. And I don't know if I got a shot of it, but there's actually these cool kiosks where you can manage your account, your onboard ship account, and you can manage it on the app as well. But what happened was we actually won a couple $100 in the casino, and you know, you're in Vegas and you win money in the casino, and you just drop it right back in the slot machine or on the table. Well, we actually just went and added the cash to our ship account, which meant that the end of the cruise, our out-of-pocket amount was not as much as it would have been. So that was kind of nice. They do have ATMs. They charge $6 per transaction, so just be aware of that. And then ahead up there is the fun shops where you can get all your Carnival souvenirs and things like that. So now we're on deck 9, which is the Lido deck. This is where they have the pool area. They do the dive-in movies. all of the dance contests. They actually had a hairy chest contest on the last day. I did not participate, but it's cool when they do the movies. You can actually come out here and get popcorn, and there's pizza and burgers. As you can see here, the screen is pretty big. Actually, one night they actually had a midnight movie. They showed John Wick 3. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. So the pool is not the biggest pool in the world, but as you can see, lots of places to lounge around. The pizza place here is actually open 24 hours, and we got some late night snacks quite a few times, and it wasn't too bad a pizza. So now we're heading into the buffet area, where they have breakfast and lunch and dinner buffets. And actually, we only ate at the actual buffet area once the entire cruise, which was lunch on Thursday. We had ice cream and drinks, and we did the pizza and the deli and the Mongolian walk and stuff. All of our breakfast, we went to the Gold Pearl, which is coming up a little bit later in the video. We didn't do the breakfast buffet at all. Because we were enjoying actually sitting down and having a nice, yummy breakfast at the Gold Pearl. And honestly, it felt like a lot of people did not know about it because there was no line to get into the Gold Pearl until Thursday morning. But even then, I think we waited maybe 5 minutes, so it wasn't bad at all. We did do the my time dining, which meant that we could go to dinner anytime we wanted between, I think, 5:15 and 9. If you are doing the buffet on this ship, there is an upstairs seating area. As you can see, the stairs going up right here, and there was never anybody up there. So there's a barbecue place up there, and that was one of those tips we got from the Viking Explorer people. So here's the Gold Pearl. This is where we actually had breakfast every morning. So it was open at different times depending on if it was a shore day or a sea day. On sea days, they had brunch from like 8 to 1, I think it was. And then on shore days, I think on the earliest day, they actually opened at 6, but they would usually open, between 6 and 7. And it was great. Even the very last morning when we were pulling into Long Beach, we ate here. But as you can see, great views of the aft of the ship. And a couple mornings we sat with different people. I think most of the mornings they actually sat us by ourselves. So here is the third floor of the Atrium. I actually thought it looked like the TARDIS from Doctor Who. Which was kind of funny. There was Doctor Who trivia. So as you can see, they're doing a trivia down here right now. The fun squad on this ship is amazing. When we first booked this cruise, we actually thought, oh, I'm just gonna sit around and read our books and get some sun, and we weren't really planning on doing much of the on-ship stuff, and we got caught up in all the fun and had just a really great time. So you can see there's 4 glass elevators. You can also get all of your pictures. So on the formal nights and the other nights they do pictures. So we actually got a couple of the pictures, and then they also do onshore pictures as well. They also have a library, which our daughter would have spent her entire cruise in here. It's a nice quiet area. As you can see, it's pretty nicely done. Lots of books that you can check out. They also had, they would do game nights in here where you could go in and play Clue or Monopoly and stuff like that. So we'd see people in there playing. We also did, the first night we did the opening show. Actually won entertainment VIP for the entire week. So these were our seats for all of the shows, and we didn't have to wait, we didn't have to fight for our seats. They were reserved for us every night, which was really nice. And the shows were fantastic. And then the last morning, you can see they're actually opening up the Skydome. We're actually already docked in Long Beach here towards the end of our cruise, as you can see Long Beach to the right there. And they're opening up the sky deck for the next people coming in. So we were just about maybe an hour or so from getting off the ship, saying our last goodbyes, last time walking around the ship. A couple of other things, they actually do have like mini golf and stuff on the top deck as well. We did not, for some reason, we didn't play mini golf. We kept saying, oh, we gotta do mini golf, we gotta do mini golf, and we just never got around to it. There's a lot to do on this ship. And as I understand it, this is actually one of the smaller ships, so I can imagine that the bigger ships, you're gonna not run out of fun things to do. Alright, so I hope you all enjoyed this quick look at the Carnival Splendor. For those of you in Australia, I hope you enjoy this ship when it gets down to you. I'm sure it'll look a little bit different because they are going to clean some things up and things like that, but I hope you enjoyed. Take care.